Hi everyone, Happy New Year. I hope you're all enjoying your new year 2013 under the New World Order. My name is Zsuzsanna Holland, the granddaughter of the late great scientist Leo Szilard. I'm here what I like to call Communist Canada, since the New World Order has created a rigged justice system, and I mean rigged justice system here in Canada, where justices are allowed to ignore the law. They think that they're above the law, and they certainly continually deny citizens of Canada the rights, freedoms, and protections provided by the law. For example, on December 31st, 2012, Mr. Justice Leask of the British Columbia Supreme Court dismissed a claim against the American Dental Associations and others in an illegal manner. The claim against the American Dental Association was regards to false advertising regarding the safety of dental amalgams, or normally called silver fillings. The American Dental Association has previously, in cases in the United States, admitted to lying to the public, which resulted in the loss of lives and injury of millions of people. In dismissing these cases, Mr. Justice Leask violated basic tenets of English, Canadian, and U.S. law, which require full faith and credit be given to proceedings in these courts. Mr. Justice Leask swept under the carpet admission by the American Dental Association regarding the dangers of mercury amalgams, where in the U.S. such an admission or lie is protected by the Fifth Amendment as commercial free speech. No such protection is allowable here in Canada. Thus, Mr. Justice Leask aided and abetted the murder of millions of Canadians in accordance with the New World Order. Now, in this case, the Healthcare Cost Recovery Act and the Businesses Practices Consumer Protection Act was referred to profusely. Mr. Justice Leask was well aware of the rights that these acts had given the plaintiff to bring suit. For example, the Healthcare Cost Recovery Act says, "The past and future costs referred to in subsection 1 may be recovered as damages, compensatory damages, or otherwise," and section 3 states, and I emphasize, if in his or her own name. Again, I say, if in his or her own name was what was written in the Healthcare Cost Recovery Act. Mr. Justice Leask then had stated in his ruling of December 31st that the plaintiff had no right to bring a claim in his or her own name. So if this justice has selective amnesia, then maybe he should be removed from office. If he doesn't, then I think that the New World Order has placed justices right where they want them to prevent you from finding out the truth, and to cover up all the genocidal attempts that they are trying to inflict upon Canadians and Americans. Accordingly, the Business Practices Consumer Protection Act states a deceptive act or practice by a supplier may occur before, during, or after the consumer transaction, and without limiting subsection 1, one or more of the following constitutes a deceptive act or practice: a representation by a supplier that goods or services have sponsorship, approval, performance, characteristics, accessories, ingredients, quantities, components, uses, or benefits that they do not have. But Mr. Justice Leask ignores these statutes and refuses to accept U.S. court findings in the Williams Lake case 0916471, Holland versus American Dental Association and others. So, justices in Canada may have judicial immunity, which normally means judges cannot be sued. But in practice, judges now get away with whatever erroneous ruling they want to make, and every higher court in this country will back them up. Therefore, on paper, Canada is a democracy, but in practice, Canada is operating more and more like a New World Order dictatorship. As long as a court ruling has big fancy words, the New World Order people think that most people are too unintelligent to tell how wrong the ruling is, willing to blindly accept anything they dish out. And they're right. Most of us care about the next week's paycheck, to even worry about what tomorrow and life in Canada will be like, or worry about how many people are murdered today in this country. It doesn't matter how many times you tell a New World Order judge that you have a right to bring suit under statute, they just ignore you as if you had never told them. It is never recorded in their ruling, and the voluminous amounts of times you bring it to their attention that you have right to sue will be as if it never existed. They think they have absolute power, but absolute power corrupts absolutely is the saying, and that's exactly what Canada has become. Corrupt from the inside out. And as long as the New World Order folks can bar real issues that's going to hurt you and your children from ever going to trial, which exposes their genocidal agenda, they're happy. And unfortunately, as long as we have the perception that the New World Order's shadow government is not in power and not in control, we're happy too. Killing people with mercury and other heavy metals is a favorite tactic of the New World Order people. They have gotten away with murder for years, and they still do to this day. Heavy metal poisoning fuels are modern illnesses. It puts vast amounts of money into the hands of drug companies and the medical system. It's easy to cover up the destruction of millions of U.S. and Canadian citizens as long as these issues are denied and never brought to light. It's even easier for the New World Order folks when we want to be self-deluded into thinking it's business as usual. How sad. In addition to killing millions of victims with mercury poisoning from dental amalgams, the New World Order folks now spray people from jet planes with all sorts of chemicals and heavy metals, sure to produce sick and dead in a few short years. But you know what? We like it that way. We like to pretend that the New World Order doesn't exist. This year, 2013, I hope that you enjoy knowing that the New World Order has a casket with your name on it and your children's name on it. Why? It's fun for the whole family. Remember, you love the New World Order. Whatever you do, ignore the Georgia Guidestones, which outlines the New World Order's agenda to reduce and murder billions on this planet. They write it in stone, and we still don't get it. We still remain dumb and mute and wonder, how come these people are risking their lives to save ours? So enjoy yet another year, year 2013, under the dictatorship of the New World Order. And let's all pretend nothing's wrong together now. I guess the infallible word of God is vindicated again. Revelation 13 verse 11 says about these countries, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake like a dragon. Thank you.
That was